We'll go into the public request. This is where anybody from the public audience has got 2 minutes to comment on subjects not published agenda, but you have a right to speak out, and we'll give you 2 minutes. If you will, come to the podium, state your name, and you'll have 2 minutes. We have one there before there.
Brian Caseman. I'd like to ask the commission if they approve the shotgun range at Founders Ranch or not. And I would like an answer. This is in court. We took it to court after the commission's findings in fact, and we were told that you had no enforcement on that. And so we did take it to court. And we have found that the county is injecting itself, even though it was not named in the lawsuit. So I would like a definitive answer from the commission this morning on whether or not the shotgun range at Founders Ranch in Torrance County has been approved by this commission.
I think all the...
Mr. Chair, if I may,
go ahead.
That's not this is a public comment period. That's not an item on the agenda for commission action.
But this is not going to be commission action, but Mr. Gachow probably's got all the documents that you need, what is approved and what wasn't, through the planning and zoning. I believe you can find that documentation there.
I asked for it the 19th of March. My IPRA was up until the 3rd of April, and I have gotten no response from Mr. Gachow yet. I have also asked beyond the public agenda 4 times on SASS and not been allowed to speak on it. So I would like an answer this morning.
Well, I'm sure we can get one somewhere or another. You have that after everything is over, or after this is over, we get together with him. We'll find out what's approved, what wasn't approved.
Can I get an answer from the commission?
Mr. Chair, it's not an agenda.
He's got documentation. We don't have it on hand here, but we'll get it from him.
And thank you.
Next.
Marianne Hendy. Commissioners, I have a question. Why was a letter sent to the judge in regard to our SASS restraining order? Who authorized that? Why was that sent? And so we were told it was a civil matter. Mr. Freiberger was very clear on that. He said, take care of it. And then we have a letter that seriously impacted our case and came out directly in favor of SASS, coming from the commission, in effect, coming from the county. Why did that happen?
Who sent that letter?
Mr. Gachow.
Mr. Gachow?
Directly impacted our case, and it came from the commission, as indicated that this was approved by the county, is what it indicates on the letter. And I mean, Mr. Freiberger has told us many times this is civil action, take care of it, you know, that kind of thing, and the letter went out. So why?
Mr. Chair, I can address that briefly. We can make a copy of the letter available.
We have a copy.
It does not state that there was an approval. It states that it basically states the status of the SASS property regarding its existing conditional use permit.
In the letter, it indicates that they are.
Let me clarify.
Right.
So it's the commission's decision as to the special use zone did not affect the existing conditional use permit. And in effect, the letter states that that is the status of the property, that it's the conditional use permit is for a shooting society where firearms are going to be used by its members. It does not state that there was any additional approval. It merely states the existing status of the property.
It says here, he took some of my time. The county believes that the shooting being conducted by SASS members at Founders Ranch is legal and reasonable use of their property.
Well, that's what he explained, was it that if the members are using it, it is for the members to
And
use.
it also says in their materials, it says membership is not required. On their website, very clearly, when you go under shotgun range, it says membership is not required. Here's what you can do if you want to be a member of the shotgun range, not.
The letter stated the current status of the property, that there is an existing permanent conditional use for the property that allows its members to engage in firearm activities, shooting, firearms training, and that was the extent of the letter. And they have a copy of the letter stating the existing status. It does not state that there was any approval by the commission. It states that the conditional use permit was not altered or impaired by the special use zone decision.
And the discussion was a great deal about the conditional use permit, discussion about whether it was antique firearms or modern firearms. That was all supposed to come up in public hearings. It was never brought up. We were all going to talk about it, but their permit talked about antique firearms, the pre-1900 firearms. That's their whole premise. And now all of a sudden we have this. And that was supposed to be decided and discussed after the zoning thing by commissioners. And it has never happened. We've not had those open meetings. You've not had the discussions. You've not made that decision.
Mr. Chair, it's not an agenda item. I may be overstepping my bounds.
No,
explain more. The record speaks for itself as to the status of the property, that shooting is allowed on the property under its conditional use permit, and that's what the letter stated.
Okay.
And one other question in regard to this. Mr. Gatchell has a lot of information there in regard to his assessment of the noise. What did you use, Mr. Gatchell? Could we get that information? Exactly what did you use to get that
I think he
information?
discussed it in the last meeting that we had here, what meters he used and
He
everything.
did not tell us what meters.
He was here in discussion.
But he didn't say exactly what it was.
I'm sure you could find it in the record, so.
And he can provide whatever information
If
he
he
has.
would, please.
He would, he's got the information, you can get it from him.
Thank you.
And if I may, Mr. Chair, I apologize for interrupting
that's-
as much as I had this morning, but the IPRA request was responded to, Mr. Caseman's IPRA request was responded to by Mr. Getchell. Mr. Getchell provided the responsive documents.
No, sir, he did not.
Well, that's,
He has not
Sure.
responded as he said he would on the 3rd.
When I talked to you on the telephone, Mr. Caseman, and you asked for those documents, I said what we had in the file, and I asked you which ones you wanted to have, and you said you wanted some documents that did not exist. And I
wrote me a
informed
letter
you of that.
afterwards,
And that
saying
was
you
it.
would respond by the.
okay, that's going to be enough here.
We're
Next.
responded to in that amount of time, Mr. Caseman.
Next.
Jim Dennis. I have a question for Mr. Pucho. We went out there to listen to the shotgun range to give a fair evaluation. To give this fair evaluation, he told them he was there. He told them why he was there before he ever did any listening. Of course there wasn't a lot of noise. They took a couple of low-loaded shots from the farthest site, and that's what he heard, because he told them he was there, and he told them why. If you're going to do a fair evaluation of something, you don't tell people why you're there and what you're going to do. You go out there and you listen.
I believe in the report that he made, he stated that he had not advised anybody that he was going to be in the area.
No, he definitely stated in the report that he told them that he was there and why he was there. Also, got one more.
Well, we'll take this at another time.
May I
Yes.
just respond just for a moment? In that report, Mr. Guchard said that, it was about the normal range of a conversation, and it was this commission that asked for a meter to be purchased, audio meter, and since then that has been done, and Mr. Guchard was going to use that meter to go out and do one to where we do have the credible meters where we can find out exactly what the decibel is.
A shotgun blast is not a conversation. Conversations are pleasing to the ear. The human ear is developed to hear conversations. Shotgun blasts are not pleasing to the ear.
Well, I've been in some conversations that are not pleasing either.
Well, I'm sure this is probably
Okay.
one of them.
Freiberger makes a lot of sense.
Thank you. Next.
Billy Mitchell, B-I-L-L-I-E, Mitchell, M-I-T-C-H-E-L-L. On regards to the SASS, Mr. Getchow has solely gone out on his own, the commission approval or whatever, and taken these supposed meter readings. I think at this point, because there is so much conflict regarding this, that one of the commissioners and one of the people that are on the litigation against SASS should be allowed to go with him to verify that his readings are accurate, spoken, from him and two other people involved. Since it's Lonnie's district, he should be one of the commissioners to go out there, and either Mr. Caseman, Miss Cindy, or who would say that? Jim, somebody else observe the taking of those readings and stuff like that. That way it can be verified by more than just one person that has more than once not replied to certain things that have been filed with his company, with his jurisdiction.
I think there's a conflict if one of the commissioners goes out there, because he will be ruling or whatever decision has to be made.
Then the county.
Because it's happened before. This happened at that shooting range in Nabo, where the former commissioner went out there and it was a problem.
Okay. Well,
So-
I didn't take a non-commission member.
Yeah, we have no problem with that.
The attorney.
We have no problem with that. He's supposed to purchase those meters that is going to help him out in the findings, so
That's
we
fine.
will consider that.
But like I
Yes.
said, that way it's verified by more than just one person with a meter that can turn it down low or turn it up high, whichever.
Okay, thank you. Next.